You are a candidate looking for job and you make an interview section an interrogation section rather than a conversation section, that is actually where you start getting it wrong. That is actually where the problem starts. So you receive an email or a text message or a call telling you you're invited for an interview. So you go ahead preparing for this interview like it's going to be a question and answer section. It's just like a section where you just have to come and answer questions and go. If that is the first mindset you have once you receive an email invite, or that is the same mindset you've used to attend other interviews, trust me, that might be where the problem lies. That might be the reason you're not getting a call back. That might be the reason you're not hearing back after your interviews. All right. So my name is Cynthia. I'm a recruiter, real life recruiter. I've had to interview hundreds of candidates. I've had to review hundreds of CVs. So I know what works and what does not work. And that is why I have this channel to tell you what works and what does not work in your career path. So you know what to fix and where to fix it from. And there might be some things you're doing you might think they're actually right, they actually work, but I'm here to tell you that it doesn't work. All right. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Cynthia. Yeah, a recruiter Cynthia's channel. All right. So welcome to the page. Let's move ahead and talk about what brought us here today. So for today, we are talking about interviews, being a conversation rather than being an interrogation section. All right. So right now, I'm actually trying to have a conversation with you because I want you to understand what I'm saying. I want you to be on the levels where I am. All right. So I want you to understand the information I want to pass to you, which is exactly the kind of mindset you're supposed to have in an interview. You must not speak the English that a graduate has to speak. It might not be the English, it might not be the words, it might be how you present yourself. Because one thing I should let you know is that in as much as you think you need the recruiters to get a job, the recruiters need you to maintain and remain in their job. All right. So if I am a recruiter and I'm hired to recruit candidates and I do not recruit anybody, it makes me not effective in my job. It makes me an ineffective employee. And if at the same time I'm employed as a recruiter, I am not hiring anybody, I'm not getting commission because most recruiters actually get commissions for every hire. So, and most times when we are trying to shortlist candidates, we want to shortlist those people we are sure of. We want to shortlist people that will turn up when we call them. We want to shortlist people that will show up when they have an interview with the clients. We want to shortlist people that will stay long with the client when we take them to the client and when the client employs them, and want people that the client will come back and tell us, well done, we love this candidate. All right. So for us to actually achieve this, I have to have a conversation with you. It's not just an interview. Most times what we do when we call people or when we call candidates, sometimes we do not really make it an interview per se. We just want to have a conversation with you and understand you. Because I'm not an expert in your field. I'm an expert in recruitment, but I'm not an expert accountant. I'm not an expert credit analyst. I'm not an expert business development manager. And you are an expert in your role, while I'm an expert in my own role. So most times we do not even understand some terms you use during interview. We can be like, okay, okay, but sometimes you don't understand. We just understand the general concepts of the job and what the job entails. And if we've interviewed for that role before, actually we have more knowledge because we've gotten a lot of learning by recruiting for the job previously. But in a situation where it is a new role we are trying to recruit from, other than the research that we've done and the things we knew during the research, we do not know in depth what you do or what your career is. All right. So that's why you have to have a conversation with us and try to make us understand that you know what you're doing and you know what your job entails. All right. So in an interview situation, like I have a situation where a candidate had to come in. I greeted them. I was like, the name of okay, let's assume the name of the candidate is John. I said, John, good afternoon. John was like, oh, good afternoon, Cynthia. How are you doing? That hasn't really occurred a lot of time, all right? So John asking me how I'm doing was something new, all right? It was not something that is, some people do ask, but it's not something that regularly happens. But the fact that you've asked how I am, I'm like, oh, I'm fine, thank you for asking. It actually makes it a conversation between I and John, all right? It makes it a conversation rather than an interview. All right, at that point, the tone, the ambience of the interview situation actually comes down, because we both want to understand each other. We both want to, understand where we're coming from, and we both want to understand, what this person's experience is, and you want to understand the type of person I am during the interview too, all right? So the first thing you do when going for an interview to make it a conversation is you go research about the company you're trying to apply for. Go do your research. You need to understand what this company is into. You need to understand what they do to be able to answer questions, all right? So by the time you understand what they do, you can go back to the job description they posted. You go read the job description to know the type of person they are actually looking for. You might not have read it very well when you saw the adverts. You just read the job title, few of the things, and like, oh, this is me, this is me. You just applied. So you might need to go back, read the job description to understand who they are looking out for. Understand who they are looking out for. So once you understand who they are looking out for, you make yourself that person. All right, you make yourself that person. All right, you understand the job role, you understand your own job, and you understand what they are looking at or what they are looking for. You go for the interview. So once you get to the interview, try to make the environment friendly. All right, try to make yourself a friend to the recruiter, because the recruiters need you. They need you. So we want to be sure that the person we are going to shortlist is really going to be available when we call them, because you're going to be having an interview with clients. You're right. So we want to be sure that when we call you for that interview, you're not going to ghost us. And we get to, get the feeling of that during the interview, that, oh, this person is not going to ghost. They really need this job. All right. So that is why you create that environment in the interview where, we understand that, okay, you're the person for this job. All right. So when I try to ask, okay, I can see from your CV you've worked with this company, you've worked with this company. Could you please walk me through your work experiences so far, so I understand how it aligns with what I'm looking for? All right. It's like, okay, you've worked with these people. This is what they did. This is what they did. During that period, you can add a little bit of joke that is related to your job. All right. We could just laugh over it. Just laugh. Oh, that kind of thing. We just laugh. So when such thing happens, you're bringing down the environment, the interview environment. You're making it more conducive for the both of us, all right, for you and for me too. So there was a candidate that told me, oh, they can fit into a role because they are actually single. All right. I was like, oh, so you're trying to tell me that when you get married, all right, so you leave the job. We had to both laugh over it. The candidate was like, no, 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 that's not what I'm trying to say. But it was something I needed to say to bring down, because I noticed the candidate was on the high side. They were just about asking questions. So I needed the candidate to, chill, bring it down a little bit. All right. So that was it. I've had a candidate where I was like, okay, this is not really an interview. You just want to understand your job and, everything, understand what you've done. And the candidates went about explaining, trying to explain their achievement and I was impressed. Explaining their achievement and everything. I was like, come and just carry your offer later. I told you this is not an interview, but you've managed to convince me to this. Just come and carry your offer later. And it was all laugh and joke and everything, all right. So sometimes you just want to I actually use this when I interview people. I could be like, no, talk to me. Is there something, because I might be like, from your tone, from the way you talk, I might feel like there is something wrong. There is something I said about the job that is not sitting well with you. So I'm like, okay, just talk to me. Is there something you feel it's not okay with you? Is there something you're looking at that's, making you have double mind or two mind? Just talk to me, just me and you. Because most times we don't really come and start discussing things with people or that, all right? We might not even know people that know you. So you just need to tell us where the problem is. And if we end up liking you, We recruiters, if we like you, trust me, we can negotiate higher salaries for you with the clients. We could put you first when it's time for interview. We could put you first to be the first person. We could put your CV more out there. If there's a problem with your CV, we try to help you work on it and edit it. Once you are our favorite candidate, we want to close roles. Oh, we want to close roles. As much as you need job, we that's the much we need to. In fact, we need to close roles to remain in job. We to remain in that employed to remain employed. I have to close roles. If I don't close roles, I'll become unemployed. I'll go back to the job market. All right. And I love my job. I love what I do. All right. And I love my company too. The work environment top notch, right? So I don't want to get sacked because I'm not recruiting people, and at the same time, I don't want to be shouted at or called by clients because I gave them a bad candidate or bad candidates. All right, so that is why we have to converse. I have to understand you, so I know how to pitch to clients about you. All right, so try to create an environment or try to make it a situation where we are talking. You can put jokes here and there. Sometimes we do understand what those jokes are. We do laugh over it. You can laugh over it. I can laugh over it, and we continue. So you just also have to learn where to draw the line. You have to know where to draw the line for talks and conversations so you do not overdo it and make it a comic show instead of an interview. All right, so be in that level where you both are having conversation. If it's a video call and the recruiter's camera is on, you could give a compliment. Oh, your hair is fine, it suits you right, it suits you very well. And they could be like, oh, thank you very much. All right, so if it's a man, you could say some there might be a compliment or something you might need to talk about to impress them. All right, or to make them be like, okay, this person is the person for us. All right, so you try to make us know how much you need the job, because that is the perspective you want to have, that this person needs this job and this person knows what they are doing. So you're supposed to be able to answer questions, and you're supposed to be able to convince us through your talk that you are the right man for the job. And you're supposed to also create an environment where we are talking like friends talk, like friends are, chatting or having a conversation, trying to explain something to each other. That is the level where we have to be for me to understand you, for you to understand me. All right. So have the mindset that an interview is a conversation. So you do not over prepare and get your questions laid down. You already know what the questions are. You already know the answers to give. You're not open to any other extra thing. No, you have to be all settled. You have to be all calm to be able to understand questions and assess the questions and give the right answers. All right, so you give us the perspective that, oh, you're the candidate for us. All right, so for next video, do not forget to subscribe. Click on that subscribe button down there so you do not miss the next video, so you join the community. Also like and comment so YouTube will know that this video actually means a lot and the other people benefit from it, so that they can push it out to more people. All right, so see you in our next video. Recruiter Cynthia says bye bye.